A small group of adventurers was recently awakened by a rather grumpy wizard under the city of Cesena after being petrified in stone by the gaze of a basilisk wizard for nearly 100 years. A game of cat and mouse ensued between the three adventurers and the wizard, centered around a jar filled with ghostly specters and the city council's hunt for a renegade savant named Naveed. In the process, the party was enlisted to find Naveed and ended up helping a young noble who was being forced into an arranged marriage by aiding her escape to the distant lands of Valancia. While the party discovered Naveed hiding in the hull of the ship, they were captured and imprisoned for petty crime, and the ship departed to Valancia before anything could be done about it. In the meantime, the party was brought before the oligarchs of Cesena, the wizard relieving the party of the ghostly jar of souls, a secret council of 4 nobles hidden within the city's council of 100 called the party forward. The council of 4 had up until then been more rumor than fact, but here they were, a small group that worked for the doge of the city in a rather unilateral fashion. They were responsible for matters of intrigue and espionage. They recruited the party for a clandestine mission to the wild lands of Valancia, providing them with only a few dead drop locations and a point of contact in a tavern at the docks called the Sailor's Mongering. That morning, the party boarded their ship, aptly named We'll Try Our Best, and set out. But first they stopped at a nearby unaligned island where Captain Hamilton had to grease the wheels with the black market economy in order to secure their safe passage through pirate-infested waters. Their voyage would take up to 6 weeks in duration. After helping the local constable sort out some bandits, the party departed. They left behind the Old Kingdoms, a place that had been their home despite being temporally displaced. After 100 years encased in stone, the world had changed. The people they knew and loved most likely perished long ago. The Old Kingdoms are a place of ancient wars, imperial blue crater lakes, canal cities, golden spires, impossible palaces, hulking castles, knightly orders, monarchs, feudal lords, agrarian serfs, grand libraries, aging sages, orcish enclaves, and goblin warrens. But now the party heads to a new world, a world that once offered sentient races another chance to get it right. But their colonies failed. They rebelled against the kingdoms and fought a series of devastating proxy wars waged by mercenary companies. Even after the kingdoms withdrew from this costly endeavor, a new economy of force had taken over in Valancia, with freewheeling entrepreneurs starting their own mercenary bands and ravaging the cities and countryside alike for an entire century. What had been left in the wake of a century of war, emptied cities, ruins, rubble, and a wild, lawless region rife with secrets and mystery, one where grudges are not soon forgotten, and rumors of a new resistance and a new war are on the tip of people's tongues. The 3 of you can taste the salt in the air as daylight begins to creep through the cracks in the wooden planks of the deck, and you swing gently in the hammock you strung up between 2 beams the night prior as you slowly begin to regain consciousness. So which of you is an early riser?
Definitely not me.
I'm an early riser.
Definitely
on
Lord.
This morning.
Lord R, or R as we know him. You awaken and slip out of your hammock.
Do I hear anything going about on this deck?
You hear some boots clomping across the deck, able-bodied seamen going about their daily chores on the ship.
Does it sound like they're preparing to enter port?
No, just sounds like another day. You guys have been at sea for like 5.5, 6 weeks at this time.
Does it smell like breakfast is being prepared?
No, it doesn't smell like anything but seawater at the moment. And maybe a musty, moldy smell because you're at the bottom of the ship.
I suppose I'll crawl out of my hammock and take a peer into the main room there, right outside of my bunk space.
You peer out. You see one other sailor sleeping in a hammock, and then you see your party members also snoozing and snoring.
I'm going to go over and I'm going to start waking them up. Nice at first, but then I'm just going to start shaking their hammocks uncontrollably until they start to almost spin over onto themselves, saying, "Get up, get up."
What the fuck?
I hate you.
What? What is there to do? What is there to do?
Keep me company. I'm bored, there's nothing to do, and I can't go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep.
I'm gonna rub my eyes and get up. I'm gonna check out this room over here, see if there's anything new that's been going on. That's right in front of us.
When you peer over into the adjacent room, it is frighteningly dullish. It's the exact same room you've been staring at for weeks now.
All right. Colbus, wake up.
Come on! What? What? It's the same water, it's the same wood, it's the same people. Let me sleep.
If Laura's gonna wake me up, I'm waking you up.
Okay, I'm up. Now what? Now what? What are you gonna do? Now what? What are we gonna do? What? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What do you wanna do? Huh? What do you wanna do? What do you
Don't
wanna
start
do?
trouble. Don't start
Monroe.
trouble.
Monroe was the previous sea captain. You're
I'm
perhaps
so tired.
you may be confused in searching for Captain Hamilton,
Yes, Captain Hamilton, of
but
course.
he's not here. He's somewhere. He's elsewhere on the ship. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what does Lord R look like? Who is this guy?
Lord R is a half-elf, half-barbarian who is from a unknown mountainous region outside of this realm, and he's a rightful heir to a throne. And at one point, he was on a diplomatic mission in a faraway land when a coup occurred, and as far as he knows, most of his family or friends are probably dead, killed, and now an illegitimate king sits on the throne. And his long-term plan was to raise some sort of force and to go back and reclaim it. But along the way, he met up with some seafaring fellows and was aiding them on excursions when their ship was wrecked in a storm. But of course, he doesn't remember all of this, and the people who are around him are unaware of his noble upbringing. So he plays more heavily on the barbarian side, and the fact that he's dressed more like a sellsword.
Colbus, what can you tell us about your character?
Halfling. Kind of a bad attitude around people that didn't know him. Separated from his family, like doesn't know what happened when he was young. He was raised in the city, Jacina, in the orcish slums called the Reek in Jacina. He was raised within a half orcish gang, basically, and he was their perpetual child for confidence games. He was their.
He was like a halfling raised by wolves.
He was the second story guy for them. He doesn't really speak halfling. He only speaks like pidgin, orcish, like the cuss words and stuff like that. So he kind of, grew up getting his ass kicked all the time until he learned how to just be nasty, but nasty, not nasty like face to face, but like after a while, the half orcs, for the most part, started leaving him alone because his retaliation was always like brutal and unexpected and just demeaning.
And he's a rogue, right?
He is a rogue.
Yeah.
And the thing is that he always wanted power, so he started trying to study magic, but he really isn't smart enough to learn magic. So he is an arcane trickster with a really just basic, flat intelligence.
And Kiaris.
Kiaris has been traveling on the road for the last 9 years as a teenager. She's from a city called Arkalois, and it was burned down. She's not sure by who or what had happened. Her parents were murdered. So she's just on a journey to figure out who she is and what she wants. But just kind of exploring.
And I should also add again that this was before someone or something unceremoniously petrified all of you in stone for 100 years. And I didn't quite consider all the ramifications of that at the time, but we'll work with it.
Well, obviously that was 100 years before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can figure all that out when we go back to kill the wizard in red.
Yeah.
Because I'm killing him.
Okay, so here we are back in the ship. We'll try our best. You've awoken this morning, and you can hear footsteps scurrying on the upper decks.
I'm gonna head upstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
So Kiaris heads up to the upper deck. There we are. And I should note that on the upper deck, I know visually you guys see all these cannons, but all those cannons aren't there. Actually, what there are like some giant crossbows, things like that. Cannon powder, gunpowder is not something so common in this world.
Is there anything of interest or noticeable?
You see a couple deckhands moving around. They're really just doing maintenance. They're moving around like heavy hemp ropes. One of them appears to be folding up a sail, but nothing that strikes you as odd based on your experiences at sea so far.
All right.
I'm gonna grab an apple or some fruit out of those crates, and I'm gonna head upstairs as well.
All right, Chow Thief. So you go into the stocks and find an apple, and now you're heading to the upper decks.
Yes.
Word up here. And our dear Colbus is still swinging gently, rocking himself to sleep.
Well, glad you can join me. Do you want to go upstairs?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what the day's plan is.
Okay. Interesting. There we go. Let me find some sailors here that we can put on the ship. Who do we have? This guy, maybe. All right, so on the upper deck, you are out at sea. Still nothing but the wine dark sea in every direction. You see Captain Hamilton in his blue overcoat up on the poop deck, and he has his telescope out. He's looking at something off in the distance.
I'm gonna walk up there, introduce him, or say good morning, ask him what the occasion is for the blue overcoat.
He looks back at you and says, "What's good about it?"
You haven't been wearing it this entire time. You're only wearing special days for what's pull in the port.
That's because I had to clean it after you took a freshly skinned bear felt and threw it over my shoulders back at the last port of call.
Ah, yes, of course. What are you looking for?
He hands you the telescope and he says, "Look back there, what do you see?"
And I just hand it back to him and look with my elf eyes.
Make a perception check.
Perception check. What we got here?
With your 20.
20. There we are. 20.
All right, your elf eyes are amazing, apparently, on this nice clear day. What you see is a ship in the distance, and you manage to even tell that the small ship is moving quite fast, and it has a red flag hoisted.
I'm going to turn to the captain and say, have you ever seen anything like this before?
The red flag, it means no quarter given. Apparently the bribe we paid in our last port didn't exactly protect us from all the pirates out in these waters. But he hands you the periscope again. He says, "But look behind the ship."
And I'll take a glance behind the ship.
Behind the pirate ship. Not
Behind the
your
pirate ship.
No, just being clear. And you take a look, and what you see is it looks like there's something cutting just beneath the surface of the waters of the pirate ship. There's a second wake that doesn't belong to the ship. And then Captain Hamilton looks back at you and he says something even worse than pirates behind them, following them. And they're leading whatever that is straight towards us.
I'm gonna look at the back at the ship, and can I make a judgment as to if the crew is aware of the presence of this?
Your crew on this ship.
The pirates' crew. Does it seem like they're aware they're being chased, or does it look like they're...
Based on what you were able to see through your elven eyes, they look completely oblivious. And the ship is not taking any sort of like evasive maneuvers. They're not in combat. They seem oblivious to whatever it is that's trailing behind them.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like they're controlling it by some means at this point. It just seems like they're unaware that they're... Okay.
But this smaller ship is closing on you relatively quickly.
I'm going to turn to the captain and I'm going to say, so are we planning on continuing this route, or are we going to try to take some evasive maneuvers here?
We should be closing in on the coast at any moment. I think it's nearly in sight. If my calculations and cartography isn't completely off track, we're not going to change now. There's nowhere for us to evade to. Our best chance is to try to get close to land, but seeing how fast that ship is approaching, I don't think we're going to make it.
I'm just going to take the captain's telescope and I'm going to toss it over to you and say, hey, take a look at this.
Okay. Which way am I looking? That one.
6 o'clock.
Let's see if I can see.
Okay.
13.
Plus your modifier.
Perception?
Yes.
Plus 4.
Plus 4. So you see largely the same thing. You can see through the telescope, though, that the flag is actually, it's a skull flag, like a pirate flag, but the background is not black, it's red. And that is the no quarter given flag. Means that they're just coming to slay everyone on board. This isn't like typical piracy, even in this region, is business oriented. It's kidnapping for ransom. They want to steal goods off of merchant marine ships and sell them off at ports. They're not necessarily interested in killing, but this pirate ship is signaling that they're just here to slay whoever they can find.
Should we be worried?
You're asking
I'm
Captain
asking
Hamilton?
Captain Hamilton.
Captain Hamilton appears nervous, but he's keeping it under control because he doesn't want to make the crew nervous as well. He doesn't want to scare them as he tries to figure out how to deal with this situation.
What do we need to prepare?
To repair?
Prepare, yeah.
He points further down the deck. You have the two... Shit, where did they go? I had a couple crossbows for you guys.
It was here the last time we were on the boat.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I know where they are. Okay, anyway. You go below deck, and you start preparing the crossbows. Make sure that they're all ready to go. But I don't know how much we can prepare for this. We are a merchant ship. We're not prepared for war. Like I said, after that, we're just going to have to man the decks. They'll likely throw grappling hooks over the decks and try to pull the ships together. We'll cut them as fast as we can. That, or they may try to come up and board from the rear of the ship, coming up a ladder or something like that.
Captain, I'm more concerned about the sea serpent that's following the pirate vessel. Have you ever encountered one of those before?
Sea serpents? Once in a while you might see them out here. It could be that. It could be something even worse.
And if it was something even worse, why would it be waiting to attack that ship if it's so close and has it within its grasp?
That's a good question. I don't know. It could be just waiting for the right time to strike. I don't know. We don't know what it is. Maybe it knows something we don't.
Perhaps there's some sort of way to instigate an attack on the ship before the pirates become a problem of ours. And while they're caught up in the confusion and the sea serpent or whatever it is busy destroying this ship, we can hopefully make it to land.
What do you have in mind?
I'm not too familiar with the behaviors of these sea beasts, but maybe if we were to somehow bait the ship by causing a commotion or causing the crew to start creating noise, preparing for battle stations, or perhaps if we could wait until it was in range and then kill one of their crew, or throw over some bait of some nature in the ship's path.
At this point, we can try anything. There's no reason not to. They're clearly signaling that they're going to kill us if they get on this ship. So you go below deck, prepare whatever you can, and I'm open to any ideas at this point.
Are you going to call your crew to battle stations?
I'm going to have to gather them and talk to the first mate, and then we'll figure out how to broach this subject with them. These men are experienced sailors, but they're not soldiers.
You'll be all right. You have Colbus downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to shift on downstairs to start preparing.
Okay. So Kiaris heads down below deck to begin preparations.
I'm just going to stand at the bow or at the stern, and I'm going to peer off into the distance, clearly deep in thought.
Is that it for now? All right, so in the meantime, that ship is closing fairly quickly. You estimate, based on what you've seen so far through your observations, maybe you have 15, 20 minutes. No, don't worry, you'll hear the subway too.
Is it? Oh,
That's something upstairs. So yeah, maybe 15, 20 minutes to prepare before the ship is on top of you. It is a smaller ship than yours, but again, it's a pirate ship. They're outfitted to fight.
Do we have any assessment of their armament through those observations we had?
You could see on the deck they do appear to have some crossbows as well. What are they called? Ballistas?
The ballistas, ballista, trebuchet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have an idea. I think that what we need to do is to make that ship vulnerable to whatever's chasing it. Hopefully whatever it is not working with them or being controlled by someone on that ship. I think that we need to rig one of our crossbows. On one of the arrows, we need to attach a ball and chain to it. And we need to start launching these arrows at the ship's sails to disable it. If we can attack their mast, if we can attack their sails, we'll leave them dead in the water, which will prevent them from being able to board our ship, and will also leave them sitting ducks for whatever this thing is.
So you want to bring one up onto the top deck?
I would recommend to the captain that we bring them all on the top deck and get the crew working straight away on modifying the arrows to add a ball and chain, so that when the arrow launches, it'll pull the chain and ball with it, hopefully.
Okay, so Captain Hamilton agrees, and he starts ordering the other crewmen to bring the two ballistas they have up to the top deck. So they have to break them down from their mounts, and it takes, a half dozen guys a few minutes to bring them up top, but they do and reassemble them.
And it's coming from the starboard side.
Coming from the stern, from your 6 o'clock.
From the 6. Okay. But the mast...
It's a single mast ship.
Single mast ship, and the mast does come over so that this crossbow could fire to the 6, clear the deck, and hit the mast.
I mean, you could move them wherever you want.
Wherever? Okay.
Yeah, on the deck.
You go with this plan so far?
I'm gonna go downstairs and wake up Colbus.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want him to sleep through the whole thing. He's gonna miss out on the fun.
I would say that, is it coming up straight behind us, or is it coming off offset to one side?
Oh, pretty much straight up behind you.
Straight behind. Okay. So let's move one of these crossbows.
You go ahead and move them where you want.
What do you want? Let's do this. We'll put one in the stern here, and then we'll center this one on the poop deck so that it has elevation as well, but it can transition at either side. And can I make an assessment on if we're within range?
Yeah, of course you can. I'm just gonna say, let me see what the range is actually. 300 feet.
300 feet.
So they're still well out of range right now. They're closing the distance. They're about maybe half the distance that they were before, but they're still a little ways out, maybe a few kilometers.
So we still have some time to make preparations.
Yeah.
I would recommend to Captain Hamilton that we board up and close all the entry points on the ship from the bow all the way to the poop deck, only allowing one entrance to get into the ship. Barricade everything else, and that we contribute all resources to protecting the catapults and to preventing them from going below decks. So we just muster the crew on the 6, and then.
So Captain Hamilton quietly nods his head, and he goes off to hold a powwow with the dozen or so crew members and to brief them on what the hell is going on, because now the attack is imminent.
And I'm just gonna be patiently tapping my fingers in the railway, waiting for you guys to come up.
I'm going to grab a cup of water and toss it on Colbus.
I'm just finishing my apple. And
Come on!
Chuck it out.
What?
We're gonna have some fun upstairs.
What? Oh! We're gonna watch him we're gonna watch him fish some more. That's fun.
We're getting attacked by a pirate ship
Oh, that does sound fun.
and a giant serpent on top of that. This is right up your alley.
I'm gonna ride that serpent.
You can do whatever you like, but you probably should come upstairs with us.
Get ready. Go upstairs.
Where is our halfling friend? Here we go.
He lost him.
Okay.
And I think we should really quickly add to the arrows with the ball and chain attached. We should douse some rags in oil and wrap them on the arrowhead as well. Might as well have.
So wait. Tell me about this ball and chains. Like, what are you actually doing?
So it used to be. This was a technique they used in the old days.
No, I understand. That's how the headless horseman came about. But
Yeah.
how are you going to do that?
So the arrows, there's an arrow now, so it comes out, and the ball is attached by a chain to the arrow. So once it launches from the device, it'll pull it with it. But it'll send it into an unstable orbit, but hopefully it's at close enough range, it won't matter, so it spins.
But how are you what are these balls and how are you gonna attach the chain to them?
How are we gonna do that? That's the crew.
They don't have, they don't have like a blacksmith's forge or anything like that on the ship.
We'll take a chain, and how are the arrows designed exactly? Like, is there any gaps or anything? Are there nails in the ship or hammers or anything like that?
There are tools, yeah.
Yeah.
The arrows are essentially huge arrows. I mean, the shaft is like the size of your wrist.
And these crossbows are strong enough to pull the ball and chain far enough.
Over a much shorter distance, maybe
Right.
about 100 feet. You'd have to wait until they're almost on top of you.
We can start first with the arrows with flames, and as they get closer.
Go to the ball and chain.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna try to let their sails and fire, because the thing is, if we get tied up with this pirate ship, whatever that serpent is, it's just gonna take advantage of both of us.
Right.
So the key is to try to leave them sitting ducks and to avoid any sort of, counter piracy boarding.
Okay.
But yeah, we might as well. That's a good. We're in range right now, it seems, of firing or fire arrows.
At this point, they're just coming into range that, they're about 300 feet. You'd be able to reach them with flaming arrows.
I say we start shooting flaming arrows, and in the meantime, Lord R will be using his, let me see here. some of his survival skills to see if he can finagle this ball and chain onto the arrow. Like trap making and...
I mean, you might be able to tie it on there somewhere. I mean, well, why don't you go ahead and make a, what would this be?
Unless...
You know what? Just make a straight intelligence check.
Well, actually, I think I might have an idea. How about we just take 2 arrows and we train them together and fire the crossbows simultaneously into the sail. We wait until it's in an
Side by side.
effective range, side by side. We wait until we know that we can't miss, you know, trajectory, relative angle-wise, and all it is timing the 2 arrows at the same time.
Right.
So we send it into the sail, 2 arrows on a chain, pulls the sail down.
You might have a time to jury rig 1 before this happens.
Gonna find a coiled rope.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay down. Take a nap.
Inside the coil of rope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you know, not inside it, but just, you know, wrapped in its embrace.
Let's shoot a flaming arrow. Let's see what these things can do first.
Okay, so you guys are gonna fire first. Go ahead and make a attack roll.
20.
Yeah.
8.
Okay, so you fire the first arrow. You have to pull the bow string all the way back. There's a crank to help you do that because it's so heavy. And then you can tie, you know, some rags, like some oily rags or something like that. I guess even though there wouldn't really be oil on a sailboat, but you take some rags at least, set them alight with your flint and steel, and then you hit the little metal trigger and it triggers the arrow. The arrow goes flying. So you effectively fire the flaming arrow. It goes wide and goes straight into the ocean.
I'll hop on the second arrow and see if I can try it.
You're gonna move the other one
Yeah, the back one. I'm just gonna fire it over, yeah.
back to the rear. Okay.
Yeah. 20.
Okay, so you fire the arrow. It goes all the way across. Now it's about 300 feet, maybe 250 feet, and it smacks right into the center of the deck. And you can see like a hazy gray smoke emanating from the deck of the ship.
Let's just keep going at it then.
Keep going. Yeah.
This time, they're gonna fire at you guys. All right, they fire 2 arrows of their own. One of them also goes wide, goes into the ocean. The other one, it just smashes right through the deck, right through the railing, and just wooden splinters go everywhere, but thankfully nobody's hurt.
I'll go again, but I'm going to tell Hamilton to try to steer the boat as I'm doing it so that if they try to fire again, hopefully we're getting out of the way. 13.
I should point out it does take 1 action to load the ballista.
Oh.
So you load the weapon and you aim it. You're going to have to fire it on your next turn.
Next one. Got it.
I'm going to load mine. I'll
Okay.
load mine as well.
So once again, you use a crank, pull the string to the rear, and knock another arrow into place. The pirates on the other ship, likewise, they're also reloading their heavy crossbows and getting ready for another attack. And now they are coming up right behind you. Coming up right about here. I put them so it's actually on screen. And there is a small fire on the deck of the ship. 2 of them appear to be readying grappling hooks, whirling them in their hand, about to cast them off.
How far are they?
If
If I were to move to here, like how far are they? If I were to get to my closest point, to the closest point to their boat.
let's just say it is what it is, that they're like, 20, 30 feet away.
30 feet is good. The rigging on their sail or whatever, I'm going to use Mage Hand Ledgerman It's invisible, 30 feet within 30 feet
Okay.
to undo their sail or to activate. I'm pretty sure that I can
Okay.
do that with me.
No, there's no reason why
Yeah.
you couldn't do that. But do make a dexterity check.
Sure.
What's it called, this move?
Mage Hand, it's a spell.
Yeah, Ledger Main, it's a cantrip, but for arcane tricksters, it's invisible. So, and then it has. I can also do some sneaky.
Are you busting out some new dice there?
I am. I got tired of that. I can do some sneaky thief stuff with it. 12 plus 3 plus 2 for my proficiency bonus, right? So it would be 15 if it's just a dex roll. It would be 17 if there's a proficiency bonus.
Okay. So the mage hand comes out and you release one of the 2 tie downs on the bottom of the sail and it goes whoosh, and they immediately lose like 50% of the forward thrust and the ship comes sliding this way and crashes into the hull. Why don't all you guys go ahead and make a dexterity check?
Oh, that's not good. That's 2. Plus, wait, is that a saving throw or is it a saving throw? So I mean, even if it is, that's still like a 7.
What are we throwing?
Dexterity.
11.
16.
Work?
You want?
No, okay, that's how much. But was it working?
YouTube's working.
What about
No, hey, sorry, there's some technical issues, but I'm looking at it now. We're streaming.
Okay.
It's on Twitch, it's on YouTube.
Cool.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry, anybody who happens to be viewing, I apologize that this is our first stream, so we're still trying to get everything up and running correctly. And no doubt we will be improving things as time goes on.
No doubt. Stand by. Shit's gonna get real. I mean, stuff's gonna get real.
There it is.
It's okay, you can say shit. Say shit.
Kids watch these things. And kids-
Okay,
kids
so
don't curse.
back where we were at, you lost, the ship instantly loses 50% of the forward thrust. It slams into the side of, we'll try our best, and it shakes the hull, the deck under your feet. Did you guys make a dexterity
Yeah,
saving throw?
I threw a 7.
I got 11.
That's 16.
Okay, so our halfling friend falls over. Captain Hamilton is also felled up against the railing as everything shakes. The pirates are on the ship are all over the damn place. One of them, they lost his thrust just as both of them were throwing their grappling hooks, and one of them just the guy almost falls off the side of the ship because he's just so rattled. The other one, just by some miracle, just as he looses his grip on the rope, the grappling hook goes flying and goes up onto the deck of the ship. And as the pirate ship starts receding backwards, the hook, gains purchase on the railing, and now they're dragged behind your ship. So whose turn would it be to go? I guess.
I think it would be, because you had the crossbow.
Yeah, I was loading up my crossbow.
Yeah, we never made any
Initiative.
roll, but that's okay. We don't need one. We're going. So, Lily, you went. Dave, or I'm sorry, Colbus and Kiaris went. Mr. R.
It'll be between the two.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire the arrow again and try to get it, but shooting it at the mast.
A fire arrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
You're not able to get the elevation to actually fire on the sail because the ship just seems too close. You're not able to get an angle on it. You fire off the arrow and it just goes down and it slams fairly harmlessly into the hull of the ship. Colbus.
Does a rapier have a cutting? It's just piercing, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think you make like a slashing type of
You
thing.
can't, right?
Maybe you can. I'm not. I don't have the book in front of me.
Because I want to try and take down the rope.
Go ahead and try, Dave. I'm not gonna go and go tearing.
I mean, I have daggers, so I mean, if I,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go tearing through the manual for something like
All
that.
right. Okay. So 14 plus 5 is 19.
But what are you trying to hack at? You're trying to hack at
The rope.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to sever it.
So you get over there with your dagger, and you're trying to saw away, and you get through a couple strands of the rope. It starts to untwirl, but it's not cut entirely.
Okay.
At this point, what happens is you realize that the pirates are utilizing some type of magic because one of them just jumps all the way from one deck of the ship to the other and comes onto your ship. Another pirate, he attempts to do the same thing using the same type of spell. He gets up to about here, and all of a sudden a creature comes bursting out of the waves and just catches him right in his maw. And he just drags him right down into the water, and you hear this crunching sound, like cracking a lobster in half. And the water just turns crimson for a moment before the current carries the blood away.
I think it's you.
Yes, Mr. R.
That's my call. So I witnessed all this.
The horror.
The horror.
The horror.
Never get off the fucking boat. Was that the good old quote? Let me think here. So, when did the positions change here? Because were we on the?
Yeah, I mean, we should have moved you, and you guys should also get used to moving your characters. That's why we have all these little miniatures to keep track. Just when you want to move, just reach out and move them. But yeah, they would have been both over there firing the ballistas, so it makes sense that they would be there.
Okay. So we still have this rope towing this ship. Now we have this guy on the boat.
I've almost cut it.
I'm going to spin the crossbow around if that's possible.
With difficulty, I mean, it might be a two-man lift, but you can get somebody over there to help you move it.
Oh, so it doesn't spin like on a swivel type of thing?
Oh, you could rotate it on your own.
Yeah. Maybe I should keep that. Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to call over to the pirate.
And whatever are you telling them? These cutthroats.
I'm going to be like, did you just see that?
They both look at you, and then they look back down at the water, and like you see one of them mouth like.
I'm going to try to convince him that whatever he's trying to do right now on this ship, that he should tell his men to focus their attention on that creature, and that he should help us.
The creature at this point, I mean, you're not wrong, but just to let you know, the creature's back below the surface. You guys don't know where he is now.
And we have a dude on our ship too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm just gonna keep trying to talk to this guy and distract him from, one, causing trouble, and two, from you cutting the rope. If we can cut his pirate ship away quickly, then hopefully that creature will stay with it. But if not, I'm gonna try to convince him to, to tell his guys to stay on that ship.
okay, so in the midst of all this talk, this is a lot of talking for one turn, but that's okay. You're trying to talk to them, and they're kind of looking at you like, what's going on? The other pirate, this guy comes down. He's trying to grab hold of that rope that was cut to try to get their sail back into operation because they're still butting up against the hull of your ship. You just hear this like crunching, scraping sound every time. Meanwhile, this female pirate comes charging up from behind you, and she's going to make an attack on you, or... It's 18.
For hit points?
No, 18. for
14.
to hit.
Oh, I see.
14.
14 here.
Oh,
14,
why
yeah.
do you only have 4? Oh, because you're barbarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, R. This catches you off guard. You weren't paying attention to her at all, and she gets the tip of her rapier into your side and does 6 points of damage.
6 points. All right.
Meanwhile, another pirate comes over here, and one of them grabs onto the rope and starts trying to pull himself up. And then you have this one other guy. He's manning the wheel, and then the other one is trying to tie the sail down. Kiaris, we're back to you.
How many people, can I see how many people are on their boat? Is it just the
Yeah,
three
it's
left?
just the 3 left, and then there's one on the deck of your ship.
So I'm assuming the ball and chain is still next to us, right? Like the balls and chains. We never rigged them up, but they're on the floor, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'd imagine all the components, all that crap is still laying around the deck.
So I'm gonna try to take a chain and then whip it around to the female pirate.
Damn, that's some gangster shit.
Yes.
You can take an eye out.
Well, that's the point. And
it's not
see if
yours.
I can wrap it around her neck.
Okay. Make a. This is not sleight of hand, really, is it? It's more.
No, it'd be an attack, but it's be an attack with a
Non-weapon.
non-proficient weapon, kind of, maybe?
It's an improvised weapon.
Improvised weapon.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll without proficiency.
5. Well, there goes that.
All right, you swing the chain and she ducks underneath it. Colbus.
All right, so this dude up on the deck, is he trying to get over to us, or is he trying to free their ship up?
No, the guy who's over this cat right here, he's actually like starting to pull himself up the rope.
Oh, because they're down below us?
Just a small.
Yeah, it's a smaller
okay,
ship,
it's a
so
small
yeah,
ship. Okay.
there's like maybe like a 6 foot difference
Okay.
or something like that.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm just gonna roll up behind the pirate on board and
Okay.
stab her with my rapier. I think flame blade. That's not gonna do anything to her. Is that jumps? Yep. Okay. You're yours.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack. And move your miniature.
Okay.
Yeah.
To there. 15.
Okay, that hits. Roll your damage, please.
So we're level 3, so my sneak is 2d6. So it's 1d8 plus 3 plus 2d6. 1d8, so 5. Damn. 10. Only 10. Weak.
You sink that blade like right into her kidneys, and she actually like falls down to her knees and lets out like a groan. She's not dead, but she's not looking hot at all.
Karis, you see that?
Yeah,
R.
that's pretty nice.
Am I by the ship's wheel by chance?
The ship's wheel is like right over in this area, and in fact, our good friend Captain Hamilton has gotten back up to his feet and jumped back behind the wheel.
All right, I'm gonna shut over to Hamilton and to shake him off while I'm motioning with the wheel. I'm doing a little wheel motion.
Okay, so move your character up there.
Are you
yelling
gonna attack anybody?
I'm going to, but I'm yelling at. I'm not moving. I'm yelling.
You're yelling to him.
Shake him off, like.
Okay.
And I'm pointing. I'm doing this. I'm like pointing at the guy in the rope, and then at the same time, I'm going to attack the pirate girl with my sword.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Kick her when she's down.
3
Plus.
plus. Let's see here.
Plus your proficiency.
Wait, don't you? She's prone right now, right? So don't you get advantage when you're? I don't know.
You can roll with
I could be
advantage.
wrong. I could be wrong.
That's like one of those things could go either way, but yeah, you can go ahead and roll with advantage. It's cool.
How do you roll with advantage?
Just roll again.
Just roll
And
again.
take the higher of the two.
Oh, okay. So 10 plus 2. And then I have with the short sword. Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
The attack bonus.
Yeah.
So it'd be 15.
Okay, so Lord R looks over at Captain Hamilton, tells him to spin the wheel. Hamilton spins the wheel, the whole ship starts to turn, the deck starts to go diagonal the way it's arcing. The ship bounces up against the ships bounce up against each other again. This other pirate is like barely hanging onto the rail. He was just coming up the rope, getting onto the ship, and I'm gonna have him do a dexterity check. 7, 8. He gets rolled, pushed off the railing, falls between the two ships, and he gets crushed as the ships come back together. And again, for a second time this day, the waters turn crimson.
Crimson.
Meanwhile, Lord R gains his footing on the deck, turns around, draws his sword as this pirate's down on her hand and knees, just draws down and slays her, executing a coup de grace. And now the pirates, they got their sail back up, so they're sailing, able to bring themselves back perpendicular. And you can see the younger pirate is arming the ballista again. And that's their action. That's about all they're able to accomplish on their turn. So we're back to Kiaris.
I'm gonna run up close to how far are they though?
Oh shit, I should point out their grappling hook, and all that commotion, I'm gonna say it snapped.
Okay.
That the rope actually snapped the rest of the way, so they're no longer attached.
And how far do you think they are?
That's like 15, 20 feet.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna run close to the edge, and I have Burning Hands. So it's one of my spells. I can shoot a 15-foot cone outwards, and you have to throw a dexterity saving throw. And if you fail, it's 3d6, and if you pass, it's half the damage.
So it's actually projecting a burning hand.
Yeah.
Okay, which pirate are you firing this at?
I'm gonna shoot it towards the one at the steering.
The captain?
Steering, yeah.
Okay. So I have to make a saving throw for our pirate friend here. Let's see. 8. So that would hit. Yours would hit.
Okay, so it's 3d6.
Okay.
1, 5, 6, 9.
9. Okay, so the burning hand projects outwards and it wraps around the captain of the pirate ship, and it actually like singes his skin and burns him, and he actually recoils backwards and loses control of the ship again, and they start drifting further apart. How many points was that again? I'm sorry.
9.
9. Yeah, so you can tell he's hurt quite badly. He has like 3rd-degree burns across much of his visible skin.
How far are they now?
They're about 30 feet away.
30 feet?
25, 30 feet.
25, 30 feet is within range. I'm going to use Mage Hand again to flip their sails again.
Okay.
Sorry.
20.
So this time you managed to get out and just snap both lines, and the ship is just out of control. They're just drifting now, and the captain is grievously injured, and the younger cabin boy up on the deck is beside himself. He just watched his entire crew killed. His captain is almost dead, and his ship is immobile. So we can say that he's pretty much out of the fight at this point, and the ship is just drifting away as Captain Hamilton steers. We'll try our best back towards your destination.
Didn't expect that, did ya? Did ya?
At this point, they're not even paying attention. They're just so distraught by the defeat that they have been dealt.
Search her. She got anything good on her?
I have what do I have here?
We're gonna need her body.
Toss it over. Yeah. That's what I was
Okay.
gonna do.
You
All
can
right.
have her.
That-
Loot will have her body. That's the.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Okay, you find a little coin purse on her. It has 15 gold pieces in it.
Cha-ching. Palm it.
Okay.
Do we see any wakes from that serpent thing that was rolling around?
No, you don't. You don't necessarily. No, you don't see anything else. That sea monster is still out there somewhere, but you don't. It doesn't seem to be following the ship, or maybe it got its fill. I don't know, but it's it doesn't appear anywhere at the moment.
That was a big guy.
I go back to sleep.
Captain Hamilton looks at you and he says, "That's called a Mosasaurus. It's not a sea serpent. It's a mosasaur.
There's a what?
Mosasaur. You remember Jurassic Park, the last one? You didn't see it?
I saw it.
Okay, I'm just trying to paint the visual for you.
Colas didn't see it.
So, you know, it's a big one in the movie. I'm gonna ask the captain. Does that pose a threat to the ship? Could it sink the ship?
A creature of that size could take us apart and drag us down to Davy Jones' locker. But you also notice now that there's something on the horizon. And Captain Hamilton pulls out his telescope and looks at it, and then he just looks back at you guys and he nods his head at you.
How far is it?
Maybe you're still 20 miles out, perhaps?
That's not too far. All right.
Wait, what was the nod? I don't get the. What was the nod?
Your land is within sight.
Yeah.
Is that what the nod was? Because he just nodded and I don't know what the nod is.
I'm
almost
going to, if we're not going to use this pirate's body for bait for the thing, the Mosasaurus, then I'm taking her to the, whoever the port authority is when we get in there to find out if there's a bounty on her. And if there is, I'm going to cash it.
Okay, I mean, you can retain the corpse, which seems like a reasonable thing for you sickos to do.
Yeah. I'm going to retain the corpse.
Weirdos.
It's just a civil conversation between the two of us. Just like, if we don't use the body for bait,
Yeah.
then okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys are doing at the moment? Okay.
No. Just waiting now.
Here we go.
I kind of like the captain's tunic. A little overcoat.
And don't forget your bear pelt.
And get the bear pelt, yeah. Gotta take that to the tannery.
I wonder how that smells after 6 weeks of.
Okay. So you arrive in port. You come into the port of the city of Elysium. You can see as you approach the city that there are just huge walls on that would have encircled the city, but you can already tell that the city is sparsely populated. It's like they built these huge walls, but then they never collapsed inwards, or the city population or something happened that the city is not as big as perhaps it was once intended to be.
Do you mean big or as populous? Like have things been built up and now are in disrepair, or is it just a lot of like empty area?
There are both. There's empty areas and also ruins.
Okay.
But the port area, which is sort of towards the northern side of the city, center north of the coastline portion of the city, it's reasonably happening. You know, there are some ships in port. There are people moving around the docks. There are people moving goods in and out of warehouses. It's not an abandoned area by any means.
I'm gonna prep the body to be moved. Like I'm gonna tie it up and then, like a deer. People who carry deer after they've been shot. I'm gonna just kind of head the body up like that, and I'm gonna just give a nod to the captain.
Captain Hamilton has his men lowering the gangplank, and he is already leaning off the side of the ship, and he seems to be, consulting with the harbor master, who comes forward to talk to them, asking, who they are. There's some sort of, regulation, I guess, at the docks, but.
I'm gonna call down the harbor master, interrupting the captain, and I'm gonna say, is there a bounty office around here?
There's not many offices at all here.
Well, I just killed this pirate. I want to know if there's a bounty on her head. And I'm going to hold up her face, say.
The harbor master looks up at you and he says, I don't have a bounty on any pirates. That's not handled by me or anyone here working at the docks. But you can check with Klaus Wagner, who runs a mercenary company here in town. His men are one of the groups that's responsible for security in the city. And they do have bounties out occasionally on bandits, pirates, criminals, things like that.
I'm going to thank him for his time, and then I'm going to just take the body over my shoulders and kind of just throw it down on the pier below. And then I'm going to start, so I throw the body off the pier, and then
You hear the bones and stuff like cracking as this pirate's corpse lands on the
Can't take you anywhere.
And then I'm going to walk down the gangplank, brushing past, kind of like bumping into the captain's shoulder. And then as I do that, I'm going to turn around and say, thanks for the help. And I'm going to give him a little tap on the cheek. And I'm going to stroll down the gangplank.
Who are you tapping on the cheek?
The captain. I'm going to be like, I brush past him and then I turn around and say, thanks for the...
He looks back at you and says, go fuck yourself.
And I smile.
Something happened while I was asleep?
They don't like each other.
I'm going to walk off the thing and then I'm going to go pick the body back up.
Is the captain, is he wearing like a spyglass in a case, or like, I mean, does he have anything like accessible that looks interesting or fun, anything that I might have noticed over the last 6 weeks?
He does have a spyglass. It's like somewhere inside his shirt or his jacket or something like that. You don't know where it's, I mean, unless you want to make like an investigation check, because you have been watching him for like 6 weeks.
I mean, I would kind of rather if there's something that feels, that looks like, did I know that it's like immediately accessible, even if it's in a, like...
He has a sword in his cane.
No, it's, he's probably holding his cane though, right?
Yeah.
Nothing on his belt?
No.
Does he have any medals or pendants or anything interesting on his... Any little widgets on his hat?
He has like some sort of like copper buttons on his overcoat.
I still don't know if I can do that. All right, I'll go for the spyglass. Why not?
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Make a sleight of hand check. What did I do? I think it's a plus. Gosh, what's it? 11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
You go reaching, you get your hand inside his overcoat, but he turns away before you're able to like feel around inside there and get your little halfling hands, your little grubby hands on something.
Here we got the little shit. All right. I don't need it. Okay.
Just before I get off the boat, I'm just gonna talk to Hamilton really quickly and ask him just to confirm that are we at Elysium?
This is it. You've arrived.
Who are we supposed to talk to?
He just shrugs. I don't know.
The nobles were supposed to offer some help to us.
Didn't I give you guys a name last time? I honestly don't remember what I told you.
Did you give us a name? You gave us a location. Tavern. The sailors Mongering asked for Faustus.
Yeah.
Faustus? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Near
Where can I find sailors Mongering?
The sailors Mongering? So, you're at the docks right now, obviously. The sailors Mongering is not far from here. And I actually have the map here. Okay. So the sailors Mongering is not far from here at all. You walk right through the market that's straight ahead. And then head right through there, past there, and there's a rather good-sized tavern, and that's the Sailors Mongering. The last time I was in this port, they had a big wooden sign out front.
All right. Thanks for the ride.
Now get off my boat.
Hey, we were cool.
Yeah, you were cool. Now get the hell off my boat. Or I'm sorry, ship. I have to use the correct terminology.
Just saying, we saved you.
I do appreciate that.
All right. So.
You don't want to pay us for saving you?
Are you coming off the boat?
Yeah, I'm coming off. Pal.
Okay.
All right. So, and then who are these two characters?
Yeah, there's just other people milling about. Like I said, there's sailors. There are dockhands moving some goods around. It's not a super busy port by any means, but there is some activity.
Okay.
So who's this? Let's go talk to this girl with all the treasure. The bird, the parrot,
The pirate bird, the macaw.
macaw.
Wait.
That's a lot of gold to be having.
Yeah. Now, is there a woman standing in the middle of the pathway with all that much gold? Because, let's talk to that person.
No, she doesn't have all the gold, but
Yeah.
but she does have a cool hat and a cool jacket. She does have a pirate bird or a macaw with her.
Does she look like she has a bunch of gold somewhere?
She's salty. Maybe buried on some deserted island somewhere, but not around here. She doesn't look wealthy or anything like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring the body over to her. And I'm gonna walk up to her to start a conversation. And then when I get within reasonable distance, I'm just gonna take the body and throw it down in front of me. Put my foot on it and say, "How you doing?"
I'm just going to keep walking like I don't know him.
She looks down at the corpse and says, "Who is that?"
She was a pirate.
The
But I'm sure you're a good person.
woman takes a knee and looks down at her. Looks at the face that's now pretty badly mangled from you throwing her off the deck of the ship. looks over closer at her, finds a tattoo of an anchor on the inner part of her forearm. It says, Viola Capra.
Viola Capra. Did you know her?
I knew of her.
Was she notorious?
She became notorious after her captain took the entire crew rogue. There are certain rules, even of piracy, and they've just been attacking ships off the coast for the last 6 months.
Do you know
Purely a money-making endeavor. They were business-oriented.
Do you know where she resided, or did she just live on the ship?
No idea. There are pirate coves all up and down the coast.
Did she have any allies or powerful friends?
Probably not.
Did she have a price in her head?
Maybe. I mean, that ship was known.
I'm gonna call over to you.
Oh.
I'm gonna say, hey, she knows the girl.
Oh.
She knows of the girl.
What ship was that? Like, what crew was that?
It was Nico's ship.
Nico ship.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they just started pirating out of nowhere? What were they before that?
Pirates, but they followed the rules. You know, people would pay their taxes, usually in the old kingdoms, and that money was then distributed to different pirate bands, and it kept the merchant lines open and relatively safe. But this crew started doing their own thing.
Yeah, they're not very good at it.
Obviously.
Did you kill them?
Half of them.
A couple, yeah, about half of them. The rest aren't very happy.
The Mosasaurus got the rest of them.
Well, I'll tell you, no one's going to lose any sleep over those guys being dead bodies now.
I didn't.
So then some people should be pretty happy that we got rid of them.
Yeah, you can check with some of the mercenary companies in town, but who knows?
How many mercenary companies are there in town?
2.
2. Are they competitive?
They're all competitive.
What?
This is your first time here in Wildlands, isn't it?
It is.
Sadly.
It is my first time, and I mean, look at me. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm small and helpless, and I just maybe want to hire some mercenaries to help me. I don't know. So we heard that Klaus Wagner was one of them. Who's the other? Who runs the other mercenary group?
His name's Drogo Happerson.
Drogo Happerson? Huh. Are they... If you were going to work with them, would you have a preference of who you were going to work with?
Not really. I mean, neither one of them are at war like all the other companies that are out in what's left of the rest of this area, the rest of this region. They're 2 companies that are hired by different noble families, and they exist in a sort of state of suspended animation where they maintain some semblance of security in the city, but thankfully for people who actually live there isn't any more open fighting. At least there hasn't been in the last few years.
What's the name of Klaus's company?
They're just known by the last names of these 2 leaders.
So Wagner and
Happerson.
Happerson. Why is everybody else having a war? Like, what are they fighting over?
Territory.
What's good about the territory? Are there vineyards or mines or gems or stones or gold?
That's a good question, and that's why I live at the sea. Maybe there's nothing good about it. At least that's how I feel.
And then so are there only 2 noble families? Or are there more in town?
There's 4 in town, 4 major ones.
Do they control different aspects of commerce in town? How are they differentiated? Or are they just a bunch of like rich families who have been here forever and now try to kill each other?
The black nobility, they've been here pretty much since the beginning, 100 years, a century at this point, ostracized by the old kingdoms. But which areas of commerce they control, I mean, I don't know. We don't see their fingerprints in that way.
Do you mind telling me what the family names are?
Yeah. Vivina, Ducio, Orange, and Ella Messina.
Vivina? What was the first one?
Vivina.
Vivina.
Vivina, Ducio, Orange, and Ella Messina. And in your experience, and I know that you like stay out at sea as much as you can, in your experience, are any of those families easier to work with than the others?
She shrugs. No idea. And I know what ship I work for, what captain I work for, but I don't know who are the families behind it. I don't know. Presumably someone does, but...
Oh, so you don't even know who owns your ship. Like, things are really separated then. Okay. And are you pirates, or what type of commerce do you do?
She shrugs again.
How long have you been here for?
In and out of these ports, traveling sometimes between Sitka and Elysium, sometimes between Elysium and Chesina, wherever the payload takes us.
Do you know Captain Monroe?
Monroe, yes. I don't know him well, but he just arrived in port like 2 days ago. He's around here.
Yeah, he's an old friend of ours. We go way back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did some work for him, helped him out with some problems. Do you know where he's staying? I mean, do you know where his ship is berthed?
No, not offhand. You'd have to go look around a little bit. I know. I heard he was here though.
We were expected to meet him here, so.
You can ask around. I mean.
Okay.
What do you think of Captain Hamilton?
Captain Hamilton? Him? I don't know him so well. I've never
What is
heard.
it with you and Captain Hamilton?
Seems like a nice guy. It's just suspicious in these parts.
God is here. Oh. All right.
Well, is there anything that we can do for you? Do you need anything?
She just looks you up and down. No.
Well, that's not a very long look up and down.
I'm gonna stick my hand out and see if I can get the bird to crawl in my hand. I'm gonna start kind
The
of.
bird looks over at you with his beady little eyes and opens his beak and he doesn't look like he wants anything to do with you.
I think you should
insisting.
pet him, R. I think you should pet him. I
I'm
definitely think you
insisting.
should
I'm
pet
gonna
him.
go for a pet.
I
I'm gonna
definitely
go
think
for
you
a
should
quick
pet
pet
him.
behind the head.
I definitely think you should pet him.
The bird just like squawks his wings. It's a grumpy macaw. He's not happy to see you at all.
Okay.
You should find somebody for your bear pelt.
Yes, I gotta find the bear pelt, and I still have the body with me. At this point, I'm just dragging it with.
You're carrying a lot of things.
You're carrying around a lot of dead things.
Yeah, I smell horrible, I'm sure.
You do.
Yeah, so I'm just dragging this body behind me.
So where are you guys off to?
Do you want to? I mean, I would. We can go to Sailor's Mongering, but I would rather find Monroe before we do that.
I want to get rid of this body. I gotta find the mercenary king, or the what's his name here?
Either
Is it Drogo?
Klaus-
Drogo Harperson
or Kostwagner.
or Crosswalk?
Yeah.
Should have asked where the offices were. I'm just gonna talk to this guy here in the corner, just to yell it over at him. Hey, you know where Drogo or Klaus are?
He hooks his thumb deeper into the city.
Yeah, we should get rid of this dead weight.
Yeah.
And then
No, I'll let you get rid of the dead weight. I don't. Some things are just beyond me. I'm gonna. Is it easy to tell like where the docks are, where the pier? Like, Is it all fairly visible from here, like left and right or whatever?
Yeah, it's pretty visible. It's not all crazy like in Chesina where it was just like a canal city and there's shit all over. It was like a labyrinth. Here it's pretty straightforward as far as it's like up and down the coast.
Can I see Monroe's ship anymore? Wait, Monroe was the one. I mean, who was the one who came with the girl? Jomo?
I believe her name was his name was Darcy.
Darcy. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking for Monroe's boat. If I see it.
Monroe is the one that brought Naveed over.
Yeah.
Correct.
His boat's called the Seawolf. And then Darcy's is called the Dark Widow.
You're just kind of looking around, Dave.
Yeah, just to see if I see his boat.
Make an investigation check.
Hey,
You see a number of ships of comparable size that could potentially be it, but not
okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna go look for Monroe's boat. I'll meet you guys at the.
One of the guys, Wagner's, whatever.
Well, I don't know if we should go to the sailors Mongering yet, in case Faustus knows we're coming.
Right.
And he's looking for us, because I don't think we should introduce ourselves until we're ready. So.
Let's explore the city.
Well, let's find another. If we're ask the girl, the woman, recommend an inn.
A inn? There are several. One that I know of is the Terry Tavern. There's an inn on the second floor.
Okay. Where's that at?
That's also deeper into the city. It's near the main drag. They used to call it the Promenade, but not anymore.
Okay. The Terry Tavern?
Yes.
You guys want me at the Terry Tavern after you've gotten rid of that body and I've seen if I can find Monroe?
Sure. Rendezvous there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that, let's take a break. 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do something totally high tech.
Are you gonna put we will be back in front of the camera? Nice. Nice. Oh, but you have to put your starting time. That way people know what 15 minutes is.
What time is it?
Now I'm gonna come.
8:26, so 8:30.
Okay.
Eastern.
I probably should have said.
Then I hear it.
Cool. And we are back. Okay, so are you going to try to get rid of this body, or are you guys trying to go to the inn? What's the game plan?
I'll go to the inn with them so I know where it is, but then I'm gonna try to get rid of the body.
Oh, I thought we were trying to get rid of the body, and he's gonna go find Monroe. I'll go with you to go dump the body.
Let's do that. Let's go find the mercenary captains. Or one of them. Let's see if we can get any money for this.
Okay, so you guys start you're carrying the body over your shoulder.
I'm dragging it at this point.
You're dragging it
By the feet. And let the hands are just...
There's people looking at you. It's definitely arousing raising some eyebrows. But then at the same time, it's not exactly something that they don't see.
It's not the first time they've seen it.
Not the first time.
Let's be honest here.
It's not
they've
the first
seen
time
weirder stuff.
They haven't. It's not the first time they've seen a body dragged through the streets. So they're kind of looking over at you like, well, it's not my fucking business. And you pass out of the docks district, if that's even what you would call it in a city like this, and you actually pass into an area. It's like open fields. And there's trees, there's ruins of buildings, there's areas that look like, you come into an area, it looks like once it was a city square maybe, there's a statue in the middle, it's all just overgrown, there's grass coming out from in between the cobblestones, there's actually cows grazing, walking around. You see somebody walk off in the distance, but it's pretty empty. And then further beyond past that, you can see what looks like maybe it's more built up area with buildings, houses, things like that.
Yeah, we should walk over that way. I think it seems the right direction. It's where the guy pointed, in the general direction.
Okay, so you continue walking. It takes quite a while. It's about like an hour walking through like these kind of fields and empty lots and ruins. There's like the ruined foundations of different buildings and houses and things. And eventually you come to a sort of like a ribbon that's more populated. And you come to, it's not a paved road, it's like a muddy dirt road. But there are houses and buildings and things like that and shops going up and down. And when you get onto this main drag, you can look north and look south, and you can pretty much see all the way to the end to where the walls are that surround the city.
Do I see anyone walking around that I can ask if they know where this guy is?
Yeah, there are people walking around. You see human beings mostly. You see the odd elf, the odd halfling, but mostly people.
Can I go talk to one of them and see if they know where the camp is for...
Yeah, sure. You're just stopping at the first person you find?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a guy, he looks a middle-aged man, he's carrying what looks like a big bag of, you don't know what, maybe grain over his shoulder, and as you stop him, he kind of looks up at you and like cocks an eyebrow.
Do you know where the mercenary camps are?
There's two of them. Which one are you looking for?
Closest one.
The closest one, head north up this road, and it's going to be over on your, one moment there, Lord R. And it's going to be on your right-hand side. You should be able to see it from the road. There's actually like guard posts, watchtowers on either side of the camp.
Okay, I'll head that way.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, because you're carrying that body a long ways here.
Constitution for a 10.
Okay. It's wearing on you that you're carrying this 140-pound pirate over your shoulder. She's just dead weight, but you're a barbarian. You're tough. You can handle it. So you are trotting through the mud. Now you're ankle deep in this mud, walking up the main strip. You're seeing these houses. You're seeing ruins. You can see an obelisk, and some things that look like temples or maybe churches. But a lot of 2 and 3 story homes and businesses that are made of stone on the ground floor, and then the second floor is cobbled together with wood. And a lot of them have wooden tile roofs or thatch roofs. And as you move up this main strip, you start to see the tops of the watchtowers. They're very basic, just wooden watchtowers, nothing particularly special.
And they're close by, like a...
You can see them off in the distance. They're probably still a few hundred meters away.
Okay. I'll head that way. No, but you stay behind, right?
Yeah, if you want, you can just leave the body and then bring them over here. I'll just stick with it.
Yeah.
Well, he's already got the body on.
I've always the body.
Oh.
Okay, so you walk in between the houses through some alleyways, and you walk past one of the watchtowers, and you make your way to the front gates of what is essentially looks like a big stockade. They've taken wooden, tree trunks that are like, big enough to reach around with both arms, and used it to construct a barricade. And then there's actual stone towers at each of the 4 corners. And then you can see in the center, there looks inside the stockade area, there are some structures. You can see like the roofs coming up above the top. And then there's some guards looking down over the gate. The gate is actually open, but there's guards up top, and then there's a couple standing outside as well.
Okay, I'm just gonna go start talking to them.
As you approach, one of the guards just looks at you and kind of cocks his chin, and it looks at you as if he's inquiring who the hell you are and why you have a corpse over your back.
I'm just gonna yell over, I'm here to collect a bounty on this pirate.
What pirate? What bounty?
Viola of Nico's ship. She's been raiding the coastline for a while now under the red flag. I was told that you gentlemen are offering bounties on pirates.
Oh, one of Nico's boys or girls, huh?
Woman. And I'm gonna hold her head up.
The guard looks over and he says, "Hey, Ronaldo, come down here. He's got one of Nico's crew." And this other guy comes down. He's wearing his metal helmet. And he's got his sword and shield. And he comes over and he starts inspecting the corpse and looking her over. And he's like, yeah, this is her. This is Viola. And he looks back at you. He's like, "We've been hoping to get this one for a long time. Where's the captain?"
The captain is dying on the deck of his ship right now, disabled in the sea, while a Mosasaur is hunting them.
Well, that's a pity, isn't it?
Yes, and we killed 3 other crew, but unfortunately they fell overboard before we could bring them to you.
He says, Wagner does have a bounty out on her. And he says, "Wait right here." He goes back, he goes inside the gates into the camp. And he's gone for about maybe 5 minutes or so. And then he comes back and he says, "Here, this is for your troubles." And he gives you 10 gold pieces. And then he has his boys police up the corpse and bring it into their camp.
Well, that was easy.
10 gold pieces.
This is a business-oriented city.
Awesome. 10 gold pieces.
What are you doing now, Lord R?
Well, I think we made a good first impression. Maybe you want to go in there and
Into the
ask if we can get a drink. It was a long walk. You guys are quite a ways from the docks.
Oh, Kiaris is with you?
Yes.
I misunderstood. I thought she was... Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just want to go in and
sure. I'm pretty thirsty.
we'll ask them. We'll be like, yeah, we're on a long journey. We spent a few weeks at sea, and it was quite a long walk up here from the docks. Do you mind if we come into the camp and maybe order a couple of drinks and some food?
Does this look like a charitable organization to you?
Looks like a business.
Get the fuck out of here. We paid you your bounty.
Yeah, but now that he has some gold pieces, he can return them.
Hey, you can also go down the street and go to one of these establishments like anyone else.
What about the other pirates?
Bring their bodies back, we'll pay you for them too.
Interesting. I guess we can go
Do you have
meet.
any questions to ask these guys?
No, I don't know
No.
anything.
And it gives you a little, why don't you make like a tree? Get the fuck out of here.
They're so sweet. We should get. We can head towards the tavern if that's where Colbus is going to meet us. If you want.
To the tavern.
Yeah.
Should we go? Is the inn thing? We're waiting until after all that for the inn.
Yeah, it's, the Terry Tavern is the inn, so
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
we can get some food and drinks there,
Okay, so you're heading to the Terry Tavern.
which is still probably an hour's way back.
It's actually closer to where you are now.
Ah.
It's on the other side of the main drag, somewhere over there.
Correct. Well, we'll just head that direction then.
Oh, before we leave though, when I yell over to the guy in the helmet, is there anyone else in town that has a bounty in their head? Any big bounties around?
There's a list. There's like a board that has a list of people with bounties on their head that you can check in most of the town squares.
Okay.
Bandits, things like that.
It's good
Okay.
to look for.
Okay. Want to go over to Colbus?
Yes. So I've been looking for Monroe, looking for his boat while they've been dragging bodies through town.
Okay, so where are you looking? I mean, obviously around the docks, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask around. I'll look for his ship to see if I recognize it, but unfortunately, like, I don't know shit about ships, and so they all look the same to me. But I ask if anybody's seen Monroe.
okay. Make a investigation check and a persuasion check.
Okay. Investigation is a 5, which I expect to be, and persuasion +3. Come on, Barbara. 16.
Okay. So you stumble around the dock area. This is all new to you, seeing all this for the first time. And you stop a few dockhands and a few sailors, and they start kind of mumbling and will point. And so through their imprecise directions, you're eventually able to locate Monroe's ship.
Okay.
And as they're bobbing gently.
Is there anybody on deck?
There is one person on deck. You can see the head and shoulders of somebody moving around up there.
Do I recognize him at all?
Not offhand.
Okay. I just go, hey, permission to come aboard.
And he looks down at you over the rail and says, "Hey, who are you?"
It's Colbus. I'm friends with Monroe. Like, I'm good friends with Monroe.
He says, "You that little halfling that was here in Chesina? How are you here?"
What do you mean? How am I here? How are you here?
"By a ship?"
Yeah, me too.
Well, that does make sense.
Yeah. I mean, look, you and I both know that I could probably hop on one of these seagulls and fly back to Chesina, but I didn't. I took a boat. But I'd really like to say hi to Monroe and see how he's doing. How are you doing? How was your trip over?
It was fine. Made it safe passage without any trouble, but Monroe's not here.
Well, is there like are there like grog, any like tavern, any like of the like warehouse type places, anything?
There are a number of different places.
Like, is there like is there anything near this ship where I could just like buy ale or like a pony cave or or whatever?
What's nearby actually is the sailor's Mongering, from what you've been told.
Okay, I don't want to go there. All right. Hey, look, I would go get you something to drink right now because I know you're probably stuck on a ship with duty, but I don't know that there's any place near here other than the sailor's Mongering, and I don't want to go in there right now. But I'm just, I'll give you this, I'll hold up the gold piece, but I'm not gonna I'll walk up the gangplank, to flip it to him instead of like trying to throw it all the way. And buy yourself something when you get a chance.
He catches the coin and says, "That's awful generous of you. Thank you. And I'll let Monroe know you're looking for him.
Thank you. Do you know where he's staying? Is he at one of the inns or taverns that he's been hanging out with?
I assume so, but I have no idea where.
Okay, well, please let him know and tell him that we are staying in the Terry Inn.
The Terry Inn?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. I walk up. What about a guest? The guest that came over with you? Is he with Monroe right now, or is he still down below?
You're talking about the man.
Yes.
It's down in the hull of the ship the whole ride.
Yes.
That I'm not even supposed to know is there.
Yes. But see, I knew that you did because I know you're that type of guy. You're like me, you see things.
When we arrived at port, they waited until nightfall to bring him off. I don't know where they brought him.
Did they come back afterwards, or did they, it wasn't Monroe, and did they leave and they haven't come back?
There's something was said between Monroe and him, and he just let the young man go.
Oh, so he went by himself? Did anybody come to meet him from?
No.
Okay. Okay, yes, please tell Monroe that we're at the Terry Inn. I hope you have yourself a amazing drink. And let us know if you need it.
He raises his tricorner to you.
I pull my cloak back and put it back. Okay. Yeah. So I don't want to go to the Sailor's Monger, so I'm going to head to the Terry Inn. Yeah, I'm going to head to the Terry Inn to meet up with him.
Okay.
That's the Terry Inn, right?
Terry Inn, yep.
Okay, so that's the game plan. You guys are
Rendezvousing at the tavern. Or at the inn versus.
Let's see what I can do for you here. Where the heck is mine? Okay. Look at that.
Nice.
It's a bigger end than last time, isn't it?
I think it's the same.
Oh, right, yes. Different angle.
Yeah, different.
Ignore the man behind the curtain. Okay, so Colbus is coming in. You guys are over here by the table. And who do we have here? And she's, maybe there are some people. Here we go. Your friendly local drunk. And okay, so you come into the Terry Tavern. You see the barkeep behind the bar and a couple serving girls, and there appears to be the local drunkard and his old lady, his missus, are sitting at a table arguing with each other about something or other.
Okay. This is the bar?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to walk over to the bar and try to get up on one of the stools and get the bartenders. I imagine the bar's probably taller than I am, right? So get on the stool and try to get the bartenders down.
It's about at eye height.
Yeah. I think I'm what, like 2.5 feet, 3 feet, and at 3.5. Boy, am I glad to see you.
Move Mr. Colbus.
Oh, yes.
There we go. He says, the bartender looks across the bar at you. He says, what can I do for you?
An ale, please. I need an ale so bad. I have been on the ocean. I am not. Do I look like a sailor to you? I am not a sailor.
He cuts you off and says, I don't care. And he goes behind the bar and he fills up a cask of ale and puts it down in front of you. And that'll be 2 silver pieces.
Okay. I pay him. I give him a gold, and I just like want to make a. I don't know, like a persuasion. Like I wanted him to warm up to me. You know.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because you already bribed him.
Yeah. So. God, what's it? 6. What is that? 9. 16.
So he tucks the gold piece into his tunic and says, "You seem like an all right fellow."
I try. You know, I try. You seem like an all right fellow. Is this your place?
I run a tight ship.
I love it. It's warm. It's homey. You know, lovely clientele.
Bunch of fucking assholes.
Well, that's just between you and I. As far as they're concerned, they're lovely. Lovely clientele.
As long as they pay their tab.
Exactly. Well, I know that you probably know how to deal with people like that, but if you have any problem, you let me know, because I have ways. People like me. You wouldn't happen to know Captain Monroe, would you?
Monroe? No, I don't think so.
He sails the Seawolf?
Seawolf.
He sails the Seawolf?
The barkeep kind of looks, he thinks about it for a minute. You know, we do get sea captains in and out of here sometimes, but most of them are down at the sailors' Mongering. We're too far into the city. They don't normally come around this way.
Oh, too high class for him, too. Most of them don't know what to do in a place like this.
That's true.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting for some friends, but... No, wait, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Selin.
Selin Colbus. It's very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, sir.
Well, I'll let you get back to it. I don't want to keep you too long. It was nice to see a friendly face.
Anything I can do, you just ask me or ask one of the serving girls.
Same for me. Well, don't ask the servant girls, but if there's anything I can do, just feel free to ask. Wait.
Okay.
I'm just gonna call you because I can see.
Are you guys in
crawling.
here?
Yeah, we're already in here.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were in there. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm like, call us. Over here.
I didn't even notice.
Whistle.
I took that off my stool and grabbed my beer. Head over. I keep on the get now.
How was it? Any luck?
No, I didn't find. I found a ship, but I didn't find him. But he knows to look for us here.
Was Naveed there?
No. No. He left by himself. I think that maybe Monroe knows where he went, but the Jerome on board didn't know where he went.
All right. Well, let's just enjoy some beers while we're here then.
Well, you want to get a room and check. I mean, we can get some beers, but you guys want to get a room and then
Rest for the night?
yeah, set things up. I don't know if you guys need to get a rest.
Sounds
6
good.
hit points.
Oh yeah.
So that's 6.
Well, I'm pretty sure after 6 weeks on the ship. Oh no,
Rest.
you need to rest.
Yeah.
I forgot we
Since
fought
the
on the
battle.
ship.
So,
Yeah. On the ship.
What is it? Sabine?
Selin.
Semin. I don't even know pad. Okay, so I go back up to Semin and Semin, we need to get a room. We can either get like, I don't know if you have one with like 4 bunks or we can get 3 rooms. Like it doesn't matter to us, but however you're set up, we need to get rooms, please.
You want a place with 4 bunks? There's a room down in the basement.
I don't like being in basements. There's no way out.
You can get 2 rooms upstairs.
Yeah, we'll take 2 rooms. That's fine, please.
All right. Let me see here. It'd be 10 silver pieces or 1 gold piece total.
Okay. 1 gold piece. Okay. Yeah, I'll give him a gold piece, and then I'll give him a gold piece for the room, and then give him another gold piece. And it's like, if Captain Monroe comes looking for me, Clovis, or my friends, I mean, I'm pretty easy to identify.
All right, you got it.
Please let him know that we're here and we're waiting, that we're expecting him. And if when Monroe comes in, if shortly after Monroe comes in, any interesting or unusual parties come in, if you could mention that to me later when you get a chance, I would appreciate that too.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Thanks, Simon. Simon? Is it Simon?
Selen.
Selen.
S-E-L-E-N.
Okay, Simon.
S-E-L-E-N.
Okay. So do you guys want to go rest?
Yeah.
Rest of the time.
Okay, so he hands over the keys to you guys, and you can head upstairs if you want.
Okay. And we can take a... Actually, I go back down to Selam, and I'm like, Selam, I am so sorry, but one more thing. We need 3 baths, but we need 1 bath desperately, like right now.
He says we don't fire it up often, but there is a tub out back. I'm going to have one of the girls start filling.
Please do. And R, don't you dare come upstairs until you bathe. And I give him another gold, a whole gold to get this thing going.
He says, "Hey, Julian, start the bath." And she turns around and heads into a back room to start. They're going to start putting some buckets of water over the fire for you, so you'll at least have a warm bath.
That sounds good. And I'm just gonna throw you my my rucksack with my rotting bear pelt.
Who
Put
do you
that.
throw it to?
Throw it to you.
It knocks me
He's
down.
gonna drink you over.
I have a strength of 8. I'm 2 foot tall. Motherfucker.
So,
Bath.
and you guys are heading upstairs to sleep,
Yeah.
to rest. Okay.
You know, I'm gonna ask the barkeep if he can have one of his girls run my bear pelt over, and I'll pay him a couple gold pieces. If they could run it to the tannery.
Yeah. He says, yeah, no problem. There's a tannery not far from here. I'll take it over. Or I'll have Julian bring it over.
Awesome. I'll give him a gold piece.
Okay. You guys want to take a full rest and sleep for 8 hours?
What time is it? Yeah, it's probably nighttime at this point.
It's afternoon. It's like mid-afternoon.
Oh, is it? I mean, I really don't need to because I don't think I cast anything other than cantrips. But I mean, I've got nothing else going on. You know, like I don't mind sleeping.
Sure, we can take a full rest.
Okay. So Lord R has his bath, and then he turns in also, and you guys sleep for 8 hours. By the time you wake up, it is it's evening. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night.
All right. Gather everybody up. I assume that like we probably stayed in a room and she probably stayed in a room, and then knock on the door.
Yep.
Go downstairs and see what's going on downstairs.
Okay. You head back downstairs, and to your surprise,
Dude, I thought you were gonna reach for the fucking drum. It's like land shark.
Land monster.
street sharks. Monroe is down there kicking back an ale, waiting for you.
Oh, excellent. Where's he at? No, same table?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right here?
Okay.
Monroe!
Says, wow, well. Didn't expect to see you here.
Why?
I mean, nobody comes to a place like this unless they have business.
Oh.
The business is usually killing or piracy and killing.
Why are we here? Oh, no, because your friend. Where did he go?
My friend.
Your friend. Your friend.
The deal that we made with you
Well, what deal?
to bring a nice fella over here.
Oh, yeah. The guy down in the hull of the ship.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, what about him?
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. We got him here.
So, check this out. Is there anybody around?
The bartender is behind the bar, cleaning a glass, and the wife is left, and just the man is passed out at the table. And then there's a serving girl walking around, just mopping the floor and things like that. And these two are still upstairs. All right.
Oh, I think they came down with me, right?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they came down. We got everybody together.
We got it.
The whole party's
Yeah.
cool.
So guess what happened? We got press gang into coming here after him.
Jesus, that's horrible.
You know what? I was this far from destroying their entire city.
Hey, the rust monster almost destroyed us, huh?
Yeah, Rust Monster. Anyway,
Remember how big that thing was?
yeah, I remember how big it was. I jumped on it. And you remember when I said, Monroe, Monroe, watch this.
I'm forgetting Monroe's accent too. He's the guy from the.
Like Carl from
Yeah.
Thunder Force.
Remember when I jumped on it?
I do remember.
You don't remember when I jumped on it? Yeah, but it was big. Is this a test to make sure we're really who we are?
No, of course I know you are who you really are.
Oh, well, anyway, yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not sure how yet, but I'm going to go back and kill that red wizard and everybody else there.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah. I just have to come up with a good plan. I'm not sure what that plan is yet. But anyway, how's Naveed doing?
He was good when we dropped him off at the docks.
Do you know where he was going?
Your boy's in the wind now.
Huh. Did he tell us where he's going?
Nope. Not that I recall. He just wanted out.
Well, looks like we'll have to kill our contacts then. I'm probably gonna do that anyway. Huh. So what about you? What do you got? What's new with you?
Same old, same old.
We killed pirates on the way over.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Who is that? Who is that?
Viola from the Nico ship.
Viola. I don't know her, but there are pirates out in those waters.
Yeah.
And a Montosaurus as well.
Jesus, it sounds horrible. Well, they don't really have Jesus in this world. Apollo's beard.
Yeah. By the Raven Queen. I don't know. He's all right. He didn't look that tough.
He had a couple of Viola's crew members, but luckily none of us were eaten.
He slams his hand on the table, says, "Damn, you guys are real adventurers. I love it."
So, is there any money to be made in this town?
If you got a sword, sure.
I got a sword, but there's got to be better ways to make money than that.
I mean, these places are loaded with thieves and brigands.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's commerce. You know, we bring things in, we ship things out.
What do they ship? What do they bring in and ship out from here? What's good?
Textiles, ore, weapons. people.
Wait, what goes out of
Timber.
here? What goes out of here?
Not as much as they want to because the whole area is in such a state of disarray, but there was timber, there was iron, other gemstones. I don't know. A lot of people ask why this area is even so important at this point.
And do you know why?
Any guesses? Any opinions?
What makes this area important is that the noble families think it's important.
Anyone in particular?
No, they all do.
And why do you think that they would want to keep this area relevant?
The only thing I can imagine is you've seen the state of Chesina, the dilapidated state that it's in now. It's turning into a ruin like this place. And 100 years ago, I think they felt that Valancia would be their exit. They could create another empire somewhere else and just leave the one they destroyed behind.
Do you think they still intend to do that, or believe that someday that may be the case?
Maybe. There's always rumors of chicanery, intrigue.
The product of goober mooches, no doubt.
You said it.
What?
Cheers. This seems like the kind of place that those gilly wetfoots would run to. But there's an aura of the city that's much more serious than that.
Well, good luck out there.
How long are you going to be in town for?
Another 4 days. We pick up the rest of our cargo, and then we'll be heading back.
Back to Chesina?
Yep.
So you have 4 days to find things.
Hmm?
You have 4 days to find Naveed. And we can go back with him.
Do you want to take Naveed back?
Wasn't that the whole point of why we're here?
Well, only if
If we wanted to.
only if we can take him back to kill those people.
Which is what you'd like.
Wait, he's supposed to teach us something.
Yes, I believe so.
Is there a is there a like we're smart people, like where people go to, like, is it like a school
An
or
academy.
Like a library?
okay, yeah, a library and an academy, you know, those things, the things where like somebody with a brain like him might go to and be at.
Monroe knows fuck all about any of that. And he tells you that. I know fuck all about any of that.
Yeah, me too. Cheers, Monroe.
Did he leave anything behind?
Naveed.
Yeah.
No, he didn't really have anything on him other than the clothes on his back.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't really want to learn what he was going to teach, but I know they did.
I'd be interested in learning it.
Yeah. Yes, no doubt. Monasteries, any sort of religious places. But the bartender would know. I'm gonna go walk over and ask him. And order another drink. And
Okay.
a beef stew and a bread bowl.
A beef stew and a Red Bull?
Bread bowl.
I thought you said Red Bull too. I was like, all right. Out, and he brings out a Red Bull. Now, you want the whole bowl, or you want us to chop it up for you?
Okay, he charges you 6 copper.
Copper.
And you're asking him, you're inquiring about higher institutions of learning.
Yeah, and I'll phrase the question: are there any monasteries, academies, or any place else that you would find an academic around these parts?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. 4.
He just nods his head. There ain't much book learning around these parts.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
If I throw him a gold piece.
Are you throwing him a gold piece or not?
I'll throw a gold piece.
He pushes the coin back to you. He's like, I don't know. He doesn't want to take your money because he really does not appear to know.
Okay. I'll take the gold piece and I'll grab my bread bowl, my beef stew, and my beer,
Okay.
and head back to the table.
I walk over to Slim. Slim, who runs this town? Who runs Elysium?
No one runs the town. Well, you just got here, right?
Yeah. Is there a government?
No. There's no government here.
There aren't bosses or anybody?
There are noble families, and they hire the mercenaries to keep order.
Do they send their kids to like to places to get like trained and educated and stuff?
Never thought about it before, but the nobles, they live inside their own walled villages. They're like walled cities inside this walled city. What goes on in there? They must have some sort of school now that you mention it.
Is there like a government center or like a town center where like for the merchants, if they go, if they want to get permits or anything like that, is there a place where they go?
No, there's no such thing as that. You can go to the advocates if you have a dispute.
The advocates, okay. Are there any mages that are here that are known, that are out in the open?
No. A few temples.
Oh, can you tell me who are the temples for?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think there's temples, a few in town that are towards whatever different gods.
Are they all in the same areas, or like a temple area, or is it?
No, not really sure. Maybe there's one around the main drag. I'm not sure.
Well, I feel like it's not a big town. And have you lived here your whole life?
Born and bred.
So you know things that I don't know. You know things that nobody else in this room knows. Are any of those things important?
I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me right now, but
I don't
if
either.
you want to know something about this city, about Valancia as a whole, you have to understand that everyone was brought here. I mean, now there's a first generation. There's people like me that were born here. But really, this is an immigrant colony that failed. Everyone who came here was either a mercenary, a criminal, a political exile. Most of the people who are here to this day, they're here for a reason. They're hiding from something or running from something. The most above board people you'll probably find in one of these cities. But you venture outside these walls, there's even weirder shit out there.
What cities are there other than Elysium?
2, Sitka and Asti.
Do people sail to get to Sitka and Asti, or do they take overland caravans, or?
You can sail to Sitka. There's a small fishing village right outside the city, and then the city is not far away. And Asti, you have to travel overland. It's further. It's north of here.
And are they kind of set up the same way as Elysium, where they're just?
No, they're different. Asti is also walled in, but it's much smaller than this. And there's also various freeholds out in the countryside. They're just fortresses where the mercenaries have staked their claim to that territory. Also inland, there's a smaller settlement called Lorium. It's half in ruins. I mean, there are ruins all over the place of towns, villages, small cities that were reduced to rubble during the fighting over the last 100 years.
Is Elysium the biggest city here?
By far.
It's not like that. Who keeps the peace? Are there?
Well, there is no peace. It's just chronic warfare. between these different mercenary companies. The nobles hire them and they act like they're little monkeys and go out and fight each other. That's how it's worked for 100 years. But now we're in a period where there's some stability. At least it's not open warfare, it's not chaos everywhere you look. But that could change at any moment, the blink of an eye.
And is it just the 2 or the 4 families that hire the 2 different mercenary companies in town?
In this town, yeah, but there are mercenary companies all over the wildlands. There are others in Asti. There are others in Sitka. There are others in Warium.
But the mercenary companies out in the wildlands, they don't try to invade.
No, because they're too fractured. They're too small in number to invade. So they end up working for one of the noble families, or some of them at this point have staked out on their own little enterprise. They'd like to become nobles of their own right and stake out their own claims, territorial claims.
Are there more noble families than just the 4 in the city? Are there noble families in the Freelands, or is it just the 4 here?
4 in this city, there's more in Sitka, there's more in Warium, there's more in Asti.
Who's the most powerful of them? There's no clear.
No, it's not like in the old kingdoms where there's a king and he sits on a throne and there's a clear hierarchy. Here, they're almost on a level playing field. They're all fighting each other for supremacy.
And how close to the throne were, like how noble are they?
They're all outcasts now because they rebelled. They rebelled against the council in Chesina and other kingdoms, and that's why they're called the Black Nobility today.
Not a lot to think about. Aside of another gold. Thank you, my friend.
Don't worry, you'll hate it here before long.
I hate it here now. I like you, but I hate small towns. And I hate the whatever's going on outside the town even more.
This is a big town, it's just spread out.
No, it's not big enough. And it's too spread out. No place to hide. Well, thanks again, and thanks for, telling Monroe about us. Walk back to the table. So, R, I think you should rule this town.
Meanwhile, Monroe, he just nods to you guys and he turns and leaves.
He does? Okay.
Yeah, he's moved on to whatever else, wherever the night takes him.
Rule this town.
Mm-hmm.
That would be adventurous and exciting. What do you think?
You could have a whole new set of nobility. You're creating a whole new one.
What do you guys say we take a little trip to the tannery?
Sure.
Pick up that pelt and head around town and see what we can find.
With the pelt? Why? Why do we have to go to the tannery first? What is it with you and carrying dead shit around?
Oh no,
Can
it's
we
gonna
just
be a bear cloak at this point.
So how about this? How about you take it you go get it at the tannery, you take it to the furrier and have them make it a cloak while we walk around. Or you're just gonna carry around a tan bear fur while I don't understand you sometimes. I don't know why you want to carry dead stuff everywhere.
It'll be pretty. Go get it. Okay.
You guys are going to the tannery?
Nowhere else to go.
Let's roam the
Might
town.
as well.
It's nearby, but when so you guys leave the Terry Tavern, you get to the tannery, but they're all shut down. It's late at night.
Late at night.
Oh, it's late at night?
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock at night at this point.
Well, we'll go in the morning then.
Do you want to roam to
Why don't you go in the morning and wake me
Sailor's
when you
Mongering?
get back? Huh?
Want to roam to Sailor's Mongering?
Yeah, we can go there. Yeah, we can definitely go there and start talking to them. And we got to figure out how to take over this town.
Well, I just say we start killing people look important. Let's see if we find anyone walking to the sailing monger.
How far is the sailor's monger?
It's kind of on the other side of town.
Right. So
It'll take a while.
It's a long walk.
I'm all about killing. I'm all about killing people, but we're not going to go up against a mercenary company. We need to do this smart. And I'm not smart, so you guys need to figure some shit out.
Well, first we gotta pick what mercenary company we want to go against.
What? No. Why do we have to go against either one of them? Get them, like, either recruit them both or get them fighting each other. We don't need to go against them.
Well, that's the key. You find a mercenary company. It's like the second or third best, and then you kill one of their guys and make it look like someone from the company and their MO, the best one, did it, so that they seek revenge. So you get the second and third best to go after the best, and then they start a cycle where they topple the first, hopefully, and then you just keep repeating the process until they whittle themselves down over time. And then you just take advantage of rifts that occur. That's the plan.
I also have a fun spell.
What's this?
Called Pass Without Trace. So Veil of Shadows and Silence radiates from you and masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a 10 plus dexterity bonus. And 10 plus dexterity checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks and other traces in its passage.
So how about we find a good-sized mercenary outfit, and we take an item from their camp, and then we sneak into the camp that we were at earlier today. We sneak in at night, we kill their captain, and we leave this item in the tent, like it was dropped behind by the assassin.
So I'm like, yeah, we can walk in pretty much invisible.
We can frame a mercenary outfit. That's good to know.
Wait, do you really think that we can sneak into a mercenary compound?
With this spell?
With this spell, you can.
And you can.
Especially you.
I don't know how much thievery you guys have done, but I'm going to tell you right now that you're not sneaking into a mercenary compound and sneaking back out. Like, if it were that easy, then thieves would steal everything everywhere all the time.
They would if they can't be seen.
Yeah, so do thieves not steal from mercenary camps because so many thieves have been caught doing it, or because they're just intimidated? It may actually be something very few people have tried, so how do we know it's actually impossible? Besides, you'll be enchanted.
First off, don't ever accuse me of being intimidated. Secondly, it's just dumb. There are better ways of taking over this town than trying to get the mercenaries to kill each other. I think that we can get the nobles to start killing each other. The mercenaries are going to be strong. They're going to be good. All they do is fight each other.
But there's no infrastructure to take over, so the nobles are powerless without the mercenaries. The mercenaries are the base of power. The nobles just have the money.
But without the nobles, then the mercenaries will follow you. If you kill all the mercenaries, you won't have any forces.
We don't really need forces. We're not trying to overcome any forces. We're trying to destroy the forces so that we can establish something else. I mean, now we're going to kill all the mercenaries. They're going to be survivors.
Have you ever... Wait, I know your nobility. Have you ever ruled anything before? Or have we ever discussed this?
You don't know that.
No.
Oh.
But we don't, yeah.
Oh.
But you lost your memory, right? Like,
I mean, I remember some things, but
I'm
not...
sorry, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Broadly. I don't necessarily know everything in the backstory, just the highlights.
let's take a walk and we can just decide something on the way.
I know we're not. We're not going to. I can tell you right now, we're not going to attack.
Oh, I'm not talking about attack mercenaries. I'm just like, listen.
Look, there are smarter ways to do this. If the way to make money, or to just stand in an alley and hit people over the head. Then everybody standing in alleys hitting people over the heads. That's not how you make money. You think. You outthink people. You set things up. You play on their greed. You play on their ambition. You don't just... Taking over a city isn't a smash and grab. We have to steal the city. We have to find a way.
So is this our plan now, is to take over the city?
I don't really want to leave this. There's just... we have to either sail to some little fishing village, or we have to take an overland caravan out in that crap. I mean, I guess we could leave the city, but I don't want to. I think that we should set ourselves up. And then once we take over the city, then we can go kill that red wizard and all those other dudes.
So how about this? When we take over the city, we raise a mercenary army, and then we go back over there, and we kill the doges, find the red wizard, and we'll bring Naveed. We'll bring Naveed with us.
And then we
Bring
can
him
roll
back
everything.
there, and we'll establish him as our puppet leader after he teaches us the thing.
Yes.
I'm fine with all that, as long as we can make some money. In order to have a mercenary army, we can't kill all the mercenaries. Not that we're going to kill all the mercenaries.
We're gonna have to kill someone.
Why do you want to kill mercenaries? You want to kill the nobles. The nobles. The stinking
So we're just gonna assassinate noble by noble by noble, and we're gonna be here forever. We need to cause a war.
Right, but I don't even know that we need to assassinate them all. I think that there are other ways to bring... First off, we need to find out how are they making their money. If we find out how they're making their money, we might be able to slow down the money they're making. If we find out how they're making their money, we might be able to frame other noble families for stealing their money.
Whatever happened to Alexandria? Didn't she know somebody here?
No.
Alexandria.
No, she came over here just...
Just to escape?
Yeah. I can tell you guys have never run a long con.
We need better intelligence than what this bartender has. We should kidnap a lower class noble.
Why do we need to kidnap them? I'll become their friend.
Yeah, befriend them.
Everybody loves me. I'm lovable. I'm lovable. Why do we need to kidnap somebody? Because if we kidnap somebody and somebody sees us, anything that we do, if we get caught, we can't take over this town. We have to leave this town. I don't want to leave this town. So we can't do anything that might get us caught until we are ready to do something big. But if we kidnap somebody and somebody just happens to see us, or if they have a mage that can track us, or a bounty hunter, or anybody else, then...
You haven't spoken to one person that knows anything significant about the nobles.
That's why we need to go find them. We need to find out what taverns they hang out in. We need to find out where they go. And befriend them.
Doesn't sound like they go out at all. It's probably too dangerous for them to go too far beyond their compounds, their castle walls.
Oh.
We need to find someone that services them. Perhaps we could enter under the disguise of servants or as medical professionals delivering goods, enter their compounds and come up that way.
I can almost guarantee you, especially for young nobles, they're not hiding out in their compounds all day. They don't do that. Everybody wants to get out. Everybody wants to party. They're not sleeping with their family. There's got to be a tavern. There's got to be wenches. There's got to be...
There's 2 taverns in town. We're at one. The other one's where the sailors are.
Well, there are more taverns.
Are there more taverns?
Yeah, there are taverns scattered across the city.
There are more taverns. This was just, I think, when we asked her, we just asked her for the name of one.
Are the nobles closer to the port?
There's 2, well, actually you don't know that yet.
Right. Well, did you find anything from what's his face?
No, but I can.
Wait, but yeah, let's gather up our information first before we, so you don't go back and forth a million times.
Well, we can just go there and talk to him, all of us.
All of us, okay.
Hey, so you have a really nice clientele here compared to the other bars. Do the nobles come here to drink?
No, not here.
Do they go anywhere?
I don't think they appreciate our humble establishment.
Humble? Humble? Who are these people? And sticks up their asses or what?
Exactly.
So, what kind of hoity-toity establishments do they go to?
Says, don't know. So they hang out, they have their own little compounds, their own little world that they live in.
Is it closer to the port? Are they closer to the port?
Well, there's 2 places in the city. One is not far from here at all. It's right up the street. You'll see it. Huge walls, towers at each corner. And then there's another one, closer to the port. It's the one up the street. I do know that's where the House of Orange and the House of Avina are located.
House of Orange and who?
Vivina.
Oh.
So are the House of Orange and the House of Vina, like, are they allied, or do they just, you don't know?
Don't know.
But surely, I mean, you must know, like, there's got to be rumors of the kids running around and causing trouble, or late night romances.
Not lately. Not that I know of.
Bastard births.
Perhaps.
Okay. Well, and then do you know which one of the mercenary guilds are tied to Vivina and Orange?
No, I don't. They hire different ones at different times.
Oh, really? So one guild or one mercenary company isn't even aligned to a family, like, over the long term.
They're aligned to money.
Well, everybody's aligned to money, but usually that money comes from a steady source. I don't understand then how.
And as long as it's coming from a steady source, they've bought the loyalty. The second they think they can get a better deal, they'll work for someone else.
And who would you say the 2 best mercenary companies in town are?
There's only 2.
There's only 2.
Wagner and Happerson.
Happerson. Are there any establishments where fellas can diddle-daddle with ladies and pay?
Oh, houses of civil discourse.
That's it.
Down the street, there's one called the Pink Pony.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind.
Yep. Another place you might try sometime is a tavern of ill repute called My Alibi.
I'm pretty sure every town has a My Alibi. I've been to at least 3 of them.
That doesn't surprise me in the least.
So then you're good people. Why are you? Well, let me rephrase that. That's personal, and you don't have to tell me. I would rather know. Would you leave here if you could?
Absolutely.
What about your tavern?
Fuck it.
What keeps you here?
I'm stuck here. I don't have anything else to go to.
What if we could give you purpose in life? Something bigger than this. And I mean that respectfully.
Well, Apollo's beard are. What the hell are you talking about?
Could we rent our rooms for the long term for a special rate? And perhaps have access to your basement?
How long?
How long you want to,
Adventure.
do our thing? Let's start with a month. How's that sound?
We can start with one.
For a month, we want access to your basement. No one goes in without our permission. You report any suspicious behavior, any unusual people that you see coming through. And you don't let anyone enter our rooms, including Jennifer or what's her name? The wench. You don't let the wenches service our rooms. We'll take care of that.
No, they can service my room. What's
Not
wrong
my
with
room.
you? We're gonna need a third room.
He says for 30 gold pieces, I can do that.
For the month.
For a whole month.
Do that?
We're good.
Alright. Subtract 30 gold pieces from your stash, and
10 each?
Celine will. Selin will take it away.
And that's the basement too.
Yeah, you can fuck around down there if you want. There's just a bunch of boxes and crates and barrels and shit like that. But he looks at you and says, don't bring any heat down on old Selin though.
No way.
Alright guys. It's getting late, let's move it along. If there's anything we want to wrap up.
What time is it?
It's like
1/4.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's an early morning for me, so
Yeah.
just gonna shoot.
So do you guys just want to stay here for the night? And
okay.
we'll figure it out in the morning. Wake up.
Tell me what's going to be your next move, just so for my purposes, planning purposes.
Well, I think there's two things we can go. We can either go your route. We can hit at the nobles, try to steal, seize control of the city, raise a mercenary army, and then go back over
Okay,
to
let's
sea.
talk immediately, more so than the grandiose, plan to control the universe.
Right. Are we ever gonna head to the sailors' mongering at any point?
Yeah, we do need to do that. We do need to do that. Also, yeah. So that's probably the first thing we need to do. We need to go there. Second thing we need to do, or I think that we can do, is my character background is charlatan, I mean. So I have a forgery kit, a set of fine clothes, disguise kit, tools, kind of my choice, signet ring of an imaginary. I can create a false identity, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna act like a noble. But I can probably generate some papers, some pedigree papers for one of you two.
What if well, you're a noble.
But I don't think we know that,
Yeah.
right?
What if we became
We definitely-
mercenaries?
Huh?
What if we were like mercenaries that befriended the nobles?
Well, I think that we could just come in with closer ties to nobility than what anybody here has, and sort of start moving amongst them, and it might be a bloodless coup. We might be able to just get everybody.
How about we do So you perhaps two of us can work the nobles. One of us work the mercenaries. Working them independently.
Right.
Move up in their ranks, move up in the noble ranks. At some point, when we're well established in both communities, we make the connection and we seize control. We have the political power, we have the military power. Worked independently. And we have access now to half of this building. And the bartender is pretty much on our payroll, although he doesn't know yet.
Well, I mean, like, how long do you think it'll take to move up in the mercenary? I mean, that's like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan to move up.
Bounties. Fake bounties. Fake bounties that we collect, that you forge. Criminals. Very dangerous criminals who you start collecting on. You know, we'll do the papers good, we'll find the bodies, we'll find something to give them. And then your reputation will grow very quickly if you keep bringing the top guy on the list. We got to find out how those bounties get put in that list, who's in control of that, and we could essentially forge your resume, just put you in the fast track, have you out there killing some of the meanest people that these lands have ever seen.
It's a very noir plot.
Yeah.
I like it.
Phantoms.
But
What if we find out something at Sailor's Mongering that will overshadow, like, that'll take over everything?
Yeah,
that
we
we're
can go.
thinking?
We can go do that and do our, meet with Faustus and do our drops, and
You better
we gotta go check
Bosses
them
better
out.
have some good info, or else
maybe
we're about to
Morgan.
stay here.
we gotta go check the mausoleum
Okay.
and see if.
okay,
that's-
so we'll pick it up there next time, and I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
One thing I did forget to do is have everyone introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Which I should have done
No, we didn't.
during our break. No, we didn't.
As
Oh, the
individuals.
individuals, the characters.
I just wanted to go around the table and have, since this is our first episode,
Hmm.
and everyone introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, Lily?
Sorry. No, I don't want to go first.
We're doing it tonight or next time?
Huh?
We're doing it tonight or next time?
'Cause I
You
can,
just,
I gotta think
you,
about
just- you can say your name and who
No.
you are, a little bit about
I hope
yourself.
I hope you edit all this.
For this, it's all. This is live streaming, Lily.
Okay.
This is it. Ken.
My name is Kenneth Underwood, and I am a student studying history and political science, and I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. This is my first continuous game. I played here and there over the years, and nothing crazy.
Cool. Dave.
I'm David Park. I act sometimes. I act inappropriately a lot of times. I played D&D all through high school. I mean, actually all through junior high. I actually started with chainmail, even though I think first edition was out by then. But the first time I came across it was a friend of mine in 6th grade had chainmail. And so we started playing with that. And then through that we discovered like the basic set, and then we started playing Champions and everything else that was out, and GURPS. But I haven't played D&D since like advanced D&D, since AD&D, I think. Maybe 1 or 2 sessions of like 3.5, maybe, I can't remember. But I haven't really played it in ages, so.
Well, I'm Lily Nguyen. I don't have as fun stories as they do, but I'm new to Dungeons and Dragons. Without meeting Jack, I would have never done this.
We'll have to tell the whole story some other time about like how we all like knew each other, because when I first had the idea of doing a stream or doing like a continuous game and turning it into a stream, I just kind of reached out to like 3 people I knew who I knew each of you independently and knew you were kind of like interested or into the game. So anyway, my name's Jack. I work as a journalist, and the way I got into this actually was through my daughter. We started playing board games, and there's an RPG that's made for kids called Hero Kids, which is really cool. And we like burned through all the little campaigns for that, and then at that point it was kind of like go big or go home. So we started playing Dungeons and Dragons, and so I'm a late bloomer. That's kind of how I came to the game and how I started playing it. And then this came about, and worked with each of you, helping me get everything set up here and putting the whole thing together for the stream. And there's a lot of work to get to this point, but I appreciate you guys.
But it's ongoing. We'll keep banging away at it.
Yeah, it's still rough. I'm learning. I don't have any background really in like audio video, so I'm learning all this stuff on the fly. And I apologize if the quality isn't quite where any of us would like it to be. Both the gameplay, and also the technical aspects of it. But like, we're gonna dial it in. So we'll make little improvements. I think every time as we go along.
Yeah, it's a learning process for all of us.
Yeah. But anyway, we will be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Oh, one last thing. I got to give a shout out to Dynamic Dungeons. They make the video files that we've been playing on here that we use as a game board. You go check them out on Patreon. It's patreon.com/dynamicdungeons. And they make all of these video files, the ship, the harbor, the tavern, but also like a ton of other stuff.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
We're going to use throughout the campaign. Just super cool. So go take a look at them. And I think you guys will really appreciate what he's doing over there. So with that, I'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
One thing, just so I don't forget, I think that before Captain leaves town, we should try to start figuring out a way to